Hello everyone. So we are the English first group and we are going to discuss about the social and emotional development. The objectives of our report. After studying this lesson, you will be able to first familiarize with the social and emotional development theories. Second, understand how these theories affect learning. And lastly, explain the importance of these theories in planning of instruction. Children grow rapidly in no time. Growth and development occur in all aspects such as physical, communication, cognitive, and many more. But in this lesson, we will focus on the aspect of social and emotional. So now we have here one question. Why do learners need to be socially and emotionally competent? Social and emotional of kansarong learners is what? Is very essential sa indang own success like in school, work, and sa indang buhay. As early as possible, kailangan matutunan ng isang mag-aaral kung paano i-handle ng maayos ang kanilang emotions, pagpapakita ng empathy towards other, solve problems effectively, make sound judgment and decisions, and establish and also maintain their relationships. Social and emotional development means kung paano ang bata makaintindi kung sino sila, to understand who they are, their feelings, and interaction they make to other people. Lahat ng ito will allow them to what? To create a relationships, to allow them to explore ang sa ilang feelings and emotions, and also explore things in their environment. So, sabi nga natin kanina sa objectives, we are going to familiarize the different theories of social and emotional development. So, here are the different theories, which is the Sigmund Freud psychosexual stages, Erikson's stages of psychosocial development, Bandura's social cognitive theory, and Bowles-Bayes attachment theory. According to Freud, ang pagkatao ng isang tao is pinapatakbo ng libido. So, itong libido is yun itong life force na siya itong nagmamanifest sa sexual desires or pleasure na associated with sexual activities. And sabi niya is, napofocus daw ang libido sa iba't ibang parts ng ating katawan which is tinatawag na erogenous zones. So, sa body parts na ini, dumandaan nakakamati ng pleasures ang sarong tao, and as we grow older, lumilipat-lipat siya sa iba't ibang parte ng katawan. And depende sa kung anong stage of development ka. So, ano nga ba ang mga stages of development ayon kay Freud? So, igwa kita igdining 5 stages which is the oral stage, anal stage, phallic stage, latency stage, and genital stage. So the first stage of development, according to Sigmund Freud, is naglast siya from birth until approximately 1 year old. So the ipa conscious ang sarong aki. So mostly unconscious pa siya. But syempre, yaon naman din ang part kang personality kan sarong tao na nagtatao sa iya ng mga impulses or instinct to seek pleasure and avoid pain. And ang apod sa personality na ini is yung id. Kaya kung papansin nindo ang mga aki is what? Hibion siya. Dawa kadikit na pain, garo gusto ninda tulos mawara ito. So, it means gusto ninda ning pleasure. Now, paano naman nararamdaman ng isang bata ang pleasure? Through breastfeeding and pacifier. So, kung hilingon ta, at this stage is what? Nasa kanilang mouth na ini. So, yun na ini itong inaapod tang oral stage. Sa stage na ini, as soon as possible, tinatao na ang mga pangangaipukang sarong aki. But of course, ang anumang sobra is nakakasama. So kapag sumobra or even kumulang, may possible na magkaigwaning problema. Kasi pag dahil na-realize kan sarong aki, or dahil niya nakukuha ang mga bagay-bagay na gusto niya, dahil madidevelop ang inaapod tang reality principle na agwang realidad outside sa iyang id. Iyo yan ang poon kang pagkaigwan niya nin personality na inaapod na ego. Pero dahil pa siya kompleto, garo, nadidevelop pa lang. Ngunyan, kung ang nangyari is, dahil pinagbigyan ang sarong aki sa mga bagay-bagay na gusto niya or like sa mga oral needs niya, or napagbigyan naman lugod masyado ang sarong aki sa mga oral needs niya. So, magkakaigwa ni nga fixation sa oral stage niya or inaapod na oral fixation. Ang fixation is kumbaga garo na stuck or na fix yung aki duman sa stage na ito. Sabiyon tang sa oral fixation na totally pinagbigyan masyado ang sarong aki sa mga oral needs niya. So, like for example, kada hibi, padili tulos, or laog tulos ning pacifier sa nguso niya. So, arog kaan kung ang aki na overgratified sa oral needs, garo hanggang sa pagurang niya, gustong-gusto niya pero may nakalaog sa iyang nguso. Like for example, pagkakan and daw anong mga bagay na gusto niya pero may nasa nguso. So yan. And in terms of personality naman, sinda greedy or matakaw. Garo gusto ninda agad-agad nakukuha ang mga bagay na gusto ninda. And garo nga sinda itong aki na kapag dain ninda nakukuha ang gusto ninda, mahibi sinda. And then pag nakuha naman, parang medyo greedy. Abo magtao garo maimo ta. Gusto niya sa ilang gabos na mga bagay. And then, kung ang oral fixation naman is totally natatao ang mga oral needs kan sarong aki, is like totally na pagbibigyan. So, kung arog ka nang nangyari sa sarong aki is, hanggang sa pagurang niya, dahil siya nakakamati ng pleasures sa mga bagay-bagay na supposedly matao sa iya ng pleasures. Kasi nga, kang aki pa siya, dawa gurano pa siya, humibi, mayong-mayo siyang makukuas. So, pag arog man madadara niya sa paggurang niya. So, yan. Ang duwang oral fixation na pwedeng over gratification and then under gratification, which is parehas hindi siya maganda. Next stage is anal stage. Naglala siya from 1 until 3 years old. So, from the name itself, ang erogenous zone kaini is sa pantog or sa pag-iihi or pagre-release kan mga bagay-bagay sa tuyang hawak. So siguro nako ani food ang ideya na ini doon sa fact na garo at this stage ang mga aki is tinetrain na to use the toilet and to not urinate everywhere. So igdi na nagpupuon na kontrolon ang behavior kan sarong aki kan sa iyang magurang manungod sa pag-release niya or pag-ihi or sa pagdumi. So duwa ang pwedeng mangyari or maging experience kang aki sa stage na ini. It's either masyado siyang kokontrolon sa iyang magurang sa iyang pag-release or naman pagbibigyan lang siya kung saan gusto niyang mag-release like umi or tumae. Garo may lang pakiaram sa iya ang magurang niya, which is both thing hindi rin maganda kasi kapag ang nangyari is pinabayaan lang siyang tumae kahit anong oras, kahit saan, or ang nangyayari dyan is parang over repulsive. So, ini-spray niya lang ang excrement niya dawa sa end. So, it means ang control is nawawara. And then, kung garo naman masyado stricto or mahigpit ang mga magurang niya when it comes sa toilet training, ang tendency is magiging namang controlling ang aki or garo over retentive. So, iyo yan ang duwang magiging experience kang sarong aki at this stage. So, yung mga masyadong napagbigyan is, ang apod is anal repulsive. So, disorganized sinda sa indang buhay. So, dahil sinda masyadong kinokontrol, dahil masyado kinokontrol ang sadiri ninda. And another fixation is anal retentive. Sinda itong masyadong rigid. So, yung itong sabi ko bago na garo sinda kilgen na like gabos na lang, kontrolado, habo ninda na mag-let go. Kasi nga, nasanay sinda na dahil gabos na release, dahil gabos niluluwas. And then, garo niluluwas lang ninda pag so far kaipuhan lang. So, that is the end of my report. And the next stage, which is the phallic, latency, and genital, to be reported by Kate Del Rosario.
Okay, so good day everyone. I'm going to discuss the Sigmund Freud psychosexual stages, which is the phallic stage, latency stage, and the genital stage. So first, let us dive in the what is phallic stage. So phallic stage, it occurs from 3 to 6 years old. So in these stages, children might form a strong attachment to the parent of the opposite sex and feel jealousy towards the same-sex parent. So, for example, a boy who have special affection for his mother and see his father as a rival for her attention. And there are two types. So, the feeling is called the Oedipus complex in boys. So, kapag po ang lalaki nagkakaroon ng affection sa kanyang mother and he feel jealous to his father, ang tawag po doon ay Oedipus complex. While girls naman may experience a similar attachments to their father called the Electra complex. So, kapag naman ang babae ang nagkaroon ng attraction sa kanilang father and then she feels jealous to her mother, it's called Electra complex. So, next is the latency stage. So, these stages commonly happens from 6 years to puberty. Okay, so in this stage, the children starts to form strong friendships, especially with others of the same gender. So, example, so halimbawa, a 7-year-old girl may focus a lot on playing with her friends and practicing her reading. She might not be as interested in her family members as before, but she's building important skills like working with others and learning new things. So, sa latency stages naman po, so dito sa stages na to, mas na-i-enhance yung learning ng isang bata. Okay? The third stages is the genital stage. So, this period covers the puberty to death. So these stages naman, people start to develop deeper feelings for others, including romantic and sexual attraction. So, for example, a teenagers start to feel attracted to someone for the first time. So, she begins to experience romantic feelings and might want to have a boyfriend. And then, this is a typical part of the genital stage where she starts to develop a better understanding of her own sexual identity and how to connect emotionally with others in a deeper way. So, in these stages naman, parang mas naaano na yung pakikipag-connect ng isang tao in a romantic way. So, that's all po. Thank you.
Theory ni Erikson psychosocial development is merong 8 stages. And ang stage 1 is to be reported by Althea Azuela.
So hi guys, I'm here to discuss psychosocial development of Erikson. Let's start to stage 1. Trust versus mistrust. Where two statements. When an infant is born, she is uncertain about the world and primarily relies on the caregiver or their mother. At this stage, infants really entirely on their caregiver to meet their basic needs. And that basic need is food or feeding them and comfort and safety. When caregiver consistently providing those needs of the baby in a nurturing and loving way, the infant develop to trust their mother. For example, milk yung baby dahil gutom. So the caregiver respond in soft way, carrying them and gently and giving them the food that they need. So the baby learns to trust the caregiver. And kapag na-develop yung sense of trust ng baby, they carry them to the next stage. And the virtue of this stage is hope. When an infant faces new crisis, she will be confident to trust someone who can help her. Kapag nabuo na yung sense of trust ng baby, mabilis na lang sila makapagtiwala sa ibang tao na tumutulong sa kanila. And yung confidence nila is tataas kasi na-develop yung sense of trust nila nung baby pa sila. Pero kapag hindi na-develop yun, it can lead to mistrust na makakaramdam sila ng anxiety, suspicious, and mahirapan sila makipagsalamuha sa ibang tao kasi hindi na-develop yung sense of trust nila nung baby pa sila. So, let's proceed. The next stage, autonomy versus shame in law, 18 months and 3 years old. According to Erikson, this stage is very crucial for the development of physical skills and independence of the toddler. In this stage, toddlers begin to explore their abilities such as walking, talking, feeding themselves, and making small decisions. Alam niyo naman po, diba, kapag 3 years old or 18 months, Doon pa lang nagsisimula sila maglakad, magsalita, or matuto kumain mag-isa, or mag-desisyon ng mag-isa. Sa stage na to, nade-develop ng mga bata yung abilities and skills na meron sila. For example, sa paglagay lang, ay sa pagsuot lang ng shoes, sa pag-ayos ng laruan niya, sa pag-prefer ng pagkain niya, doon na-explore na ng mga bata yung abilities and skills na meron sila. For example, a child insists on trying to put on their shoes by themselves. So, dun sa ginagawa ng bata, supportahan niyo lang. Tapos, and iparamdam niyo na na-appreciate niyo yung effort niya. And, na kahit hindi perfect, or kahit matagal, supportahan niyo lang. Pag na-feel niyo ng bata, na pinaparamdam niyo sa kanila, it can lead to a sense of accomplishment and independence. So, hindi lang na-explore ng bata yung abilities and skills niya. Nararamdaman niya rin na sinusuportahan niya siya kahit sa matagal man or hindi man perfecto yung ginagawa niya. Kapag naramdaman niya ng bata, it can lead to autonomy. According to Exo, this stage is very critical for parents to allow their children to discover their abilities while providing an environment where mistakes are allowed. Bakit natatakot yung magulang? Kasi yung environment na napapalibutan ng bata is allowed na magkamali. Or baka ma-judge sila, or baka masabihan ng masama yung bata. Bakit yung natatakot? Kung yung way na yun is para malaman ng bata kung anong tama at mali. Bakit kayo matatakot kung yung way na yun is magiging perfect yung stage na to? So, hayaan nyo lang yung bata na matutunan niya yung abilities na meron siya. Hayaan nyo lang magkamali yung bata. Kasi sa lahat ng pagkakamali ng bata, matututunan niya yan. And matatandaan niya na, ganito, mali to. Dapat ganito yung gawin ko. Kasi alam niya na yung tama at mali. The success in this stage to develop the virtue of will, which is reflected of increased independence and confidence and self-control. On the other side, if children are overly criticized and not given chance to explore themselves, they may feel weak being alone and become dependent to others. Kapag na-develop daw po ng tama yung stage na to, maging independent yung mga bata sa mga decision na gagawin niya at magiging confident siya sa mga lahat ng gagawin niya, sa mga skills na and abilities na meron siya, and magkakaroon siya ng self-control kasi alam niya yung tama at mali. Pero kapag hindi naman daw na-develop ng tama yung stage na to, it can lead the dependent by others. Nakadepende pa rin yung bata sa ibang tao kasi hindi nga na-develop ng tama yung stage na to. Magkakaroon sila ng shame and doubt na kasi hindi na-develop. Kunwari, for example, nagkamali sila at magda-doubt sila kasi mali nila. Isipin nila na baka mapagalitan siya kasi mali yun. Pero kapag na-develop yung tao, maintindihan niya na okay, pwede magkamali. Pero kapag hindi, magiging doubt yun sa kanya and shame. Mag-shame sa sarili niya, sisisihin niya yung sarili niya kasi mali niya, and magiging weak siya and alone, nakadepende pa rin sa ibang tao kasi hindi na-develop ng tama yung stage na to. And that's all. Thank you. So, the next reporter of the stage 3 and 4 is Miss Rosa May Bonsalida.
Stage 3. The initiative versus guilt. During this period, children often interact with others. Also, the virtue in this stage is purpose. On the contrary, when children are controlled and criticized, they develop sense of guilt. So, during this stage daw po, children are developing their social and emotional skills through playing and interacting with others. And then, di na din po matidevelop ang saindang pag-iisip sa pag-ibuning sariling plan to achieve their goals based on their experience. However, if children are criticized or punished, maaari na raw pong humantong sa pakiramdam na sila ay nagkasala kung kaya't nagkakaroon sila ng alinlangan sa kanilang sarili at sa kanilang mga kagustuhan. For example, di ba, ang mga aki, if they decide to dress themselves, mapifeel ninda na matibay or strong na sinda. And also, ma-appreciate ninda ang pagbabago sa physical appearance. However, pag na-criticize or na-invalidate kang iba, ang giniwan ninda, it can emotionally damage them that lead to guilty or embarrass. Stage 4. Industry versus inferiority. Children at this stage advance through elementary grades wherein teachers take an important part in their lives. So, this stage is crucial for developing a sense of competence and accomplishment. In this stage po, children are currently in elementary school kung saan natututo na sila ng kanilang mga kasanayan at kaalaman. And then pag nakareceive sila ng mga praises or positive feedback galing sa teachers and parents, mas nakakatulong ini para mas maging produktibo sila. Then, if they consistently receive a negative feedback, magiging reason na ni para i-compare ninda ang skills and ability ninda with their peers and may experience the sense of pride and inferiority. In this stage din po, ang pinakakaipuhan malinang kang mga aki is ang kakayahan ninda. So for example, a child diligently solved the math problems. Upon mastering the formula, he or she successfully solved it. So, ang feedback sa iya kang iba is ipipraise siya dahil sa effort and accomplishment niya. Then, they will feel the sense of industry or competence. While pag ang aki nag-struggle sa pag-solve ng math problems, despite his effort, makaka-receive siya ng mga negative feedback hali sa peers niya or sa parents na magli-lead sa develop the feeling of inferiority kung saan baka iwasan niya ang pag-solve ng mga math problems. The next slide will be reported by Maiden Pasajes.
So, good morning everyone. I'm Maiden Pasajes and I'm going to discuss the Erik Erikson stages of psychosocial development. Stage 5, identity versus role confusion. So, adolescents, age 12 years old to 18 years old. So, I'm going to read first my PPT. So, adolescence is the transition period from childhood to adulthood. 12 years old to 18 years old. So it is where a person encounters rapid changes physically and emotionally. It is also in the stage where the youth has to discover and rediscover their identity, may it be sexual or occupational in this period. So they explore possibilities and choose who they become based from what they have discovered. If this exploration supports who he or she is, then the developmental crisis is positive. So 12 years old to 18 years old. So this is the teenage years. So teenage are going through big changes physically and emotionally. And they started to figuring out who they are, what are their interests, what kind of person do they want to be, what are their values, and they are exploring different possibilities like different jobs or relationships to find fits them best. And if they successfully figure this out, so they will develop a strong sense of identity. They will embrace their unique values, beliefs, and aspiration. And they will also feel confident in their choices and have a clear sense of direction in life. And this leads to fidelity, meaning loyalty to oneself and one's values. And if they struggle, they might feel confused about who they are. Sometimes they may feel lost or insecure and unsure of their purpose. Okay, so let's proceed to the sixth stage, intimacy versus isolation, emerging adults. So intimacy versus isolation is the sixth stage of Erik Erikson's theory of psychosocial development. It typically occurs during young adult between the ages of 18 to 40. So this stage is characterized by individuals' need to form close, intimate relationships with others, and it involves developing capacity for love and commitment and intimacy. So if it's successful, individuals develop a sense of belonging, connection, and a strong foundation for future relationships. And if it's unsuccessful naman, individuals may experience isolation, loneliness, fear of commitment, and difficulty for forming meaningful relationships.
Good day everyone, my name is Daniel Don Pacifico Dialoga and I will discuss the Erikson stages psychosocial development, the stage 7 and 8. So for this stage 7, the generativity versus stagnation, the adult stage. So Erikson forwarded the generativity as the concern for the next generation. This is related to enable mark that person may live in this world. Generally, person may spend their lives raising their child or their children, being productive at the workplace and giving back to the community. So generativity, this is refers to the desire to create or nurture things that will outlast oneself. It is often expressed through works, family, and involvement in community or societal contribution. People in this stage focus on helping the younger generation to grow either through raising children, mentoring, or making lasting contribution in their career or other endurance. So for the stagnation, if a person fails to achieve a sense of generativity, they may feel stuck or may feel disconnected from society or become self-absorbed, focusing primarily on their own needs and desire rather than contributing to the welfare or others. So in this, the successful stage in this gener- generativity is the feeling of satisfaction and sense of contribution. Conversely, stagnation can result in feelings of frustration, lack of achievement, and sense of being disconnected from society. So that's the generativity and the stagnation, the satisfaction, and the lack of achievement. The stage 8, which is integrative versus despair of all age stage. So this is the final stage of Erikson theory. So by this is the same for generativity and stagnation. But the first stage, which is stage 7, is the adult, and this is the old age. So by this stage, when people look back on their accomplishment as people age, their productivity and attention to work tend to slow down. So Erickson believed that if we see our life productive and feel that we accomplish our goals, we become satisfied. It's just like a generativity, the satisfaction, how you contribute your achievement in societal or in a community, and how you mentoring the children, just like that. And the second one, success in the stage will lead to virtue of wisdom. On the other hand, if we see our lives are unproductive, we feel the guilt which can lead to despair and the hopelessness. So this is the just like stagnation that we can feel the lack of achievement that we have in a adult stage. So the stage 7 and 8 are the same, but it has other way to feel and to express what have the adult and old age. That's all everyone, and thank you.
Everyone. So my name is Regine Rodriguez and I will be the one who will report Bandura's social cognitive theory. It is about how people learn from what they observe. So, means natututo ang mga tao base sa kung anong nakikita at naobserbahan nila. He initially called this as social learning theory because it added social dimension to Skinner style learning theory. So, ang key kay Skinner theory is about yan, oral stage, anal stage, phallic stage, latency stage, and genital stage. So, duman po nag-base si Bandura sa theory naman. Parang dinagdagan niya lang si theory ni Skinner. It developed into social cognitive theory because he posited that learning occurs in dynamics, so in context and interaction among people, environment, and behavior. So parang through interaction sa people and environment and other behaviors ng people is nagkakaigwas, duman na na-develop si social cognitive theory ni Banduras. And the theory is cognitive because people have the capacity to understand the world around them. So kapag sinabi tong cognitive, it tackles about mind. So yun nga, sabi Igdio, parang ang theory ni Bandura is parang naiintindihan ta ang nangyayari sa mundo. Naiintindihan ta, may kapasidad kita na maintindihan ang nangyayari sa mundo through the theory of Banduras. Moreover, the theory is social because similar to reinforcement and punishment. What we observe about people is also an important source of learning. So, ano man ang naobserban ta sa ibang tao, iyan ang nagiging source ta na makanood kita. Something new. Halimbawa, idea nga na topic na din is similar din siya, ang theory na ini ni Bandura is similar siya sa reinforcement and punishment. Pag sinabi ang reinforcement is para may positive outcome siya. And ang punishment is may magiging negative outcome man siyang kaluluwasan. Bandura 1977 believed that people can be active information processors where we think first before we imitate. So bago ta arugon sa sarong bagay, parang tig-iisip ta muna siya. Process ta muna si sarong bagay bago ta siya arugon. May propose din siyang four mediational process which are the attention, retention, reproduction, and motivation. For a behavior to be successfully imitated, it needs to grab our attention. So po bago maging successful na arugon ta si sarong behavior, kay puwanta mo nang i-grab si attention or parang matawan ta siyang attention. We are exposed to various behaviors and many are seen irrelevant. Not all noticed behaviors are remembered. Oo, tama siya, di ba? Kasi daiman gabos na nahihiling ta is natatandaan ta. Ang iba dyan nalilingon taman kasi daiman siya importanteng bagay. And yun nga, di ba natapik tayo ang pruning, tiga-excess niya si mga memories na si mga na daiman kaipuhan. To succeed imitating a behavior what has been observed must be recollected. O kapag nag-imitate kita ng sarong behavior, tiko-kolekta muna si mga naobserbahan ta. After the two stages, the observer is ready to imitate the model. Yun nga, patas na kang two stages which is the attention and retention, na-imitate na ang model, ang reproduction, kung inaarog ta na siya, may pinangangarugan na kita. Lastly, the willingness to imitate a behavior is based on the motivation that the behavior can bring. Halimbawa, ang sarong aki, kapag si aki nagbagsak siya. And then ang katong parent is okay lang mabagsak pero sa sunod na sa sunod na exam dapat makalangkaw pa siya dumaning maipasa niya to kasi may reinforcement, may positive na magiging outcome. Halimbawa, tatawan ta ka ngayaning dulce. Sa halimbawa sa aki, tatawan ta ka ngayang dulce kapag naipasa mo ngaya sa exam. Something like that. And that's all po.
Okay, for the continuation of Bandura's social cognitive theories, here are the four meditational process: the attention, reproduction, and motivation. Attention. It is whether the behavior is noticeable enough to get a person's attention. Attention is the behavior of a person uses to focus the senses from sight to hearing and even smell. And also, attention in psychology, the attention is the concentration of awareness on some phenomenon to the exclusion of the other stimuli. Also, attention is the awareness of the here and now in the focal and perceptive way. And in this stage, individuals must pay attention to the behavior they are observing. And attentional process determines here how closely the child will pay attention. And examples, the child's level of arousal and child's expectations. Okay, next is the retention. Okay. Retention is whether the person can remember the behavior long enough to copy it. Retention is the ability to retain things in mind, specifically a reservation of after effects of experience and learning that makes recall or recognize possible. And retention process here determines how well the child will remember the modus of behaviors. Like, for example, child's use of memory strategies such as organization or rehearsal. The third one is the reproduction. Reproduction, whether the person has the physical ability to copy the behavior. Reproduction, in this stage, individuals attempt to reproduce the behavior they observed. This may involve practicing and refining the behavior until it can be performed accurately. So in this stage or the production process, we can determine how the child's be reproductive. Like the child's physical skills. Lastly, the motivation, whether the person has the desire to mimic the behavior. In this stage, individuals must have a reason or motivation to perform the behavior. So, in this motivational process, we determined here how motivated the child is to imitate the models. Like example, incentives to the child for imitation. In motivation, in this stage, individuals must have a reason or motivation to perform the behavior, and this may involve reinforcement, punishment, social approval, disapproval, or other incentives. That's all. Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Daniel Catris Valentin, and today I will going to discuss the Bowlby's attachment theory, which is pre-attachment, attachment in the making, clear-cut attachment, formation of reciprocal relationship. So first, I will be discussing the pre-attachment theory, 0 to 2 months. At this stage, infants can already show innate behavior such as grasping, crying, smiling, and gazing to attach and maintain attention. So, pag 0 to 2 months, mas gusto ng child ng attention ng mother nila. So, nagsismile-smile sila. Gusto nila yung palagi silang nabibigyan ng attention. Next is, moreover, children at this age would prefer gazing at humans rather than objects. So, mas gusto din nila na mas tinititigan yung faces, for example, faces ng human kaysa sa mga objects like yung laruan. Next is, they also can recognize their mother's smell and voice. Nare-recognize na din nila yung voice and smell ng mga mother nila. Next is, however, they are not yet attached to the mother, which is the reason why they do not show negative behaviors when left to strangers. So, hindi pa sila masyadong na-attach sa mother nila. Kaya kapag iniiwan sila sa mga, kahit hindi sa nanay nila, hindi sila masyadong umiiyak or hindi sila masyadong naglilikot. Next is attachment and the making, 2 to 7 months. This is second stage is marked by the learning of basic rules of interaction such as turn-taking and shared attention. The caregiver is basically doing all works in behalf of the child like repeating words and showing how to play. So, dyan is yung sa 0 to 7 months, yung mga child dyan is natuturo-turoan din siya ng kung paano maglaro. Meron din na medyo marunong na din sila magsalita, like that. Next is the child develops a sense of trust but do not complain when separated from caregiver. So dyan is yung child is nagtutrust na siya dun sa sa nag-aalaga sa kanya, pero hindi siya kapag naghiwalay sila, hindi siya umiiyak like that.
The Bowlby's attachment theory. According to Bowlby's, there are 5 key innate behaviors that babies have in their arsenal straight out of the belly to secure them in this satisfactorily with primary caregiver. And one of these is clear and cut attachment. Emerging between 7 months to 2 years old. Now, this stage loosely lines up with Bowlby's concept of a critical period of attachment, though this is somewhat out of fashion of the moment which we're gonna talk about in the next video. By this stage, infant shows undeniable indication of having formed a specific attachment. For example, it is at this point that the baby demonstrates the ability to miss their primary caregiver and doesn't treat all others indiscriminately. It is no longer squishy baby cuddle for all. It is it's specific love for a specific person.
Good morning, everyone. I am Elsa Pisico, and I will be discussing about formation of reciprocal relationship 2 years onwards. At this stage, the behavior shown by children becomes more intentional. This means that children no longer cry because they are in pain or hungry, but because they want to call the caregiver. They understand why their caregiver go out and predict when they will come back. At this point, the baby begin to form strong emotionally bonds with caregivers. other than the mother, such as father, older siblings, and grandparents. Here, infants can now understand when the mother is leaving, when she will be coming back. Furthermore, has developed a sense of security because even if the mother is not physically present, he is assured that the mother is always there for his or her. When caregivers respond quickly and consistently, children learn that they can depend on them. Do you know what is internal working model? The internal working model, which is the essential condition for attachment. This explains why children that do not have a primary caregiver figure such as those raised orphanages may fail to develop the sense of trust needed to form attachment. That's all po. Thank you.